Welcome to the Recaps channel. In today's video, we'll recap Inheritance. Let's get started. Lauren Monroe is a lawyer who values justice more than money. While Lauren is at a press conference, she is informed of her father's tragic death. Her father had difficulty breathing and passed away while on his way home. Later, the Monroe family attends the funeral, and afterwards, Lauren and her brother William, who is running for mayor of New York City, have a conversation where William tells her that their father was proud of her. Later, Lauren visits her father's office and remembers how he used to teach her to play chess, relating it to the game of life. A week later, the family's attorney, Harold, announces Archer's will. William receives $20 million, while Lauren is given only $1 million. After the announcement, Harold privately gives Lauren a package that her father left for her. The package contains a pen drive with a video in it and a set of keys. After watching the video, a shocked Lauren walks into the woods and discovers a locked entrance. She uses the key from the package to unlock it and finds stairs leading to a basement. After summoning her courage, Lauren enters the dark bunker. Inside, she discovers a bound man. Despite her fear, she approaches him to check on his well-being. Suddenly, he moves, causing her to flee in terror. Back at home, Lauren decides to call 911 for help, but her brother intervenes. He expresses sympathy for her regarding the unequal distribution of money and offers to share his portion. However, Lauren declines, stating that money is not important to her. Later that night, Scott, Lauren's husband, asks if she is okay, and she assures him she is. However, she explains that she needs some alone time and sends him and their daughter Claire away. The next morning, Lauren decides to return to the bunker, this time armed with a gun. She finds the man asleep and quickly takes his fingerprints to determine his identity. When he awakens, she flees in fear. Shortly after, she comes back wearing a mask and interrogates him about who he is. He appears to know intimate details about her life, including her birthday, her brother's name, and even the circumstances of her marriage against her father's wishes. Convinced, she removes her mask and questions him again about his identity. The man reveals that after being held captive for a long time, he feels like a member of her family. He asks if she is a good person, and when she confirms, he tells her that a good person would release him. However, Lauren believes that he must have done something to deserve his confinement. She tries to uncover the truth but is met with his demands. Although Lauren threatens to leave him to his fate, he remains unaffected, claiming that her conscience won't allow her to do so. Realizing he holds the upper hand, she decides to meet his demands and gives him a razor before leaving. Upon returning home, Lauren sends the man's fingerprints to her detective friend Emilio, requesting him to gather information about the man as quickly as possible. Lauren purchases all the items the man demanded and returns to the bunker. Lauren also gives him a chocolate bar, which triggers an emotional response from him. The man reveals that Lauren's father used to bring him chocolate once a year. Having satisfied his hunger, the man introduces himself as Morgan Warner. According to him, he met Archer 30 years ago, and they quickly became friends due to their shared vices. One night, Archer collided with a pedestrian, killing them instantly. Archer buried the body, and when Morgan expressed his disagreement, Archer attacked him and imprisoned him in the bunker. Morgan also reveals that Archer had an affair with a woman named Sophia. Initially skeptical, Lauren requests Sophia's address from Morgan, asking her to investigate for herself. Morgan also advises her to consult Harold, as he has records of everything. Overwhelmed by this information, Lauren contacts her detective friend Emilio and asks him to investigate a man named Morgan Warner. Afterward, she goes to meet Sophia. Sophia reveals that she met Lauren's father during a poker game. As they talk, Lauren notices a photograph of a boy and asks about it. Sophia reveals that he is Alex, her son and Lauren's half-brother. Unable to process the truth, Lauren confronts Harold and expresses her anger at him for keeping such a significant secret from the family. Lauren then questions Harold about any other hidden information he may have kept from her. He assures her that there is nothing else and suggests that she simply forget about it. Later, Lauren visits her mother, who is busy preparing for William's election campaign. She asks if her mother has heard of Morgan Warner, but her mother doesn't recognize the name. Shortly after, William enters and reveals that he is losing in some polls. He requests Lauren to join the rally because her reputation for honesty would be beneficial. That same night, Lauren returns to the bunker. She inquires about the whereabouts of the pedestrian's buried body that her father had hidden. Morgan proposes a deal: if he leads her to the location, she must release him. Reluctantly, Lauren agrees and guides him outside. Lauren then receives a call from her husband, Scott, asking where she has been. Apologizing, she quickly hangs up, promising to make it up to him and their family soon. Following this, Lauren drives in the direction instructed by Morgan. After a while, they arrive at the designated location, and Morgan points out where the body is buried. Her fears are confirmed when she uncovers a human skull, proving that Morgan had been telling the truth all along. Overwhelmed, she covers it back up and returns Morgan to the bunker. She then asks him to put the collar back on, but he pleads with her not to betray him, claiming that, as an honest lawyer, she shouldn't be as cruel as her father. He begs her to set him free. He promises to disappear from their lives without causing them any harm. Unfortunately, Lauren apologizes and walks away, her eyes welling up with tears. The next day, she visits her brother's office and seeks his advice, claiming that it's for one of her court cases. She asks him what he would do if someone knew all his secrets and posed a danger to him. William responds by suggesting that he would either dispose of the person's body in the river or hire thugs to make him disappear from their lives. After considering this option, Lauren goes to the bunker with a bag and makes Morgan promise that he will vanish forever. Lauren instructs him to clean himself and informs him that he will be released later that night. Following this, Lauren approaches Harold and asks him to arrange for $1 million and a private jet for someone her father had wronged. Before Morgan leaves, Lauren inquires if her father mentioned anything about her. Morgan reveals that Archer was proud of her but disapproved of her opposition to his friends. At this point, Morgan discloses another secret about William, who had bribed union representatives. Shocked by this revelation, Lauren immediately confronts William about it, but he defends his actions, stating that bribery is necessary for career advancement. Unable to tolerate it any longer, Lauren slaps him and storms off, warning him never to lie to her again. Finally, Morgan leaves the bunker. Lauren drives him to the private jet, where Harold hands him his new identification cards and informs him about the funds in his account. Harold and Morgan then board the jet, while Lauren returns to the bunker to clean it. During this process, she discovers poison hidden under the bed, but she doesn't react, believing that everything is now over. Meanwhile, Emilio locates Morgan's file and delivers it to Lauren's residence. Just as she starts looking at its contents, Lauren enters the room and questions why her mother is examining her work. Catherine reveals that the man is a heartless serial killer, and she asks about his whereabouts. Lauren admits that she has let him go. Lauren rushes to the airport, only to discover that Harold and the pilot are dead. She realizes that Morgan is after her mother, so she hurriedly returns home. Unfortunately, Catherine has already gone missing. Lauren notices that the bunker door is open and finds her mother unconscious. As she checks on Catherine, Morgan attacks Lauren, knocking her unconscious and tying her up. When she regains consciousness, Morgan confesses to injecting her father with the poison that eventually killed him. He also reveals the true events of the past. Morgan discloses that he had given Catherine a pill and forced himself on her, and Archer arrived to help his wife. Morgan also caused the collision with the pedestrian. He reveals that he was the one who buried the body despite Archer's objections. Archer retaliated by assaulting Morgan and imprisoning him in the bunker. Lauren tries to reason with Morgan, promising to help him seek justice for what her family did to him over the years. However, Morgan refuses to make any deals and intends to leave them to suffer just as he did for 3 decades. He reveals his plan to go after the remaining members of their family and destroy the family's legacy using the secrets he possesses. Lauren confronts Morgan, calling him a pathetic lunatic. Enraged, Morgan reveals that he is her biological father, leaving Lauren stunned. Meanwhile, Catherine manages to grab the gun and shoots Morgan in the back of the head. Catherine and Lauren then douse the bunker in gasoline, setting it ablaze, and watching it burn. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share if you enjoyed the video. See you again here on the Recaps channel.